Now, talking about spending a lot of time at home, maybe you make a little bit of noise in the kitchen, you like to sing when you cook. There are many meals that we have had to cook to, and we love spending time in our kitchen. We are keeping the plant-based goodness coming to you with something spicy and aromatic that's going to fill those rumbling tummies on a budget as well. We love the sound of that during lockdown. On the menu today is our vegan power-packed chickpea coconut curry, loaded with BWELL canola oil and vegetables galore. And this recipe is completely meat-free, and it takes about 15 minutes to prep. Angie Boyd is back in the house, looking resplendent, looking gorgeous, looking like you are going to own 2021. Welcome back,
Let's
girl.
hope so. Thank you very much.
So good to see you, especially when you bring these lovely sweet treats. We are loving the Veganuary, if you will, this movement towards a meat-free January, just because it's educating us on other options. And there is something to be said for stretching the budget, and something like this really does do that. What's going on? Because I'm seeing a lot of spices.
Yes, lots of spices. Look, it's more of an aromatic curry, so it's not super hot. It's one of those lovely, which is quite nice. And I agree with you with the Veganuary. I cannot say it.
I know, it took me a while as well. I did a voice.
But it is about education, sort of kind of getting that message out that we don't have to have meat every day.
Which is, you know, South Africans, we love our meat, but there is a knock-on effect, and you've got to, and just from a health perspective, it's really good to get the veggies
environment, all of those things.
I think key is making sure then that you've got bucket loads of flavour.
Absolutely. So we do have lots of flavour. And what we're going to do, let me just turn this on, is we've got our onions browning here. Just check that is on. And we're going to do we've got some mustard seeds. So we're going to pop those in. Little extra oil. You need a little extra oil with the spices just because they do absorb some oil.
Okay.
And you want to get them to really pop a little bit and get those flavours.
And how important is it to do that, to release the flavours first with your spices? Because this seems to be a commonality across so many of the curries, whether it's a spicy or going the more aromatic route.
So curries, I always think, it's a bit of a layering thing. So you do your spices first with enough oil that it doesn't dry and burn on the bottom. We're not burning them, we're just releasing the flavours, getting them out. Activating. So we've got some paprika. If you wanted it a bit hotter, you could use some cayenne pepper. This is some turmeric, and then some curry leaves as well. So they're not super hot, but they've got those beautiful flavours that are going to come through. And you're going to cook those curry leaves out, adding extra oil as you need, just so it doesn't burn.
And you can keep the BWELL going. You can add as much of that as you want. Absolutely. We know that being locally produced, we know that it's come from a really good source as well, which makes a lot of sense. But it carries that Heart and Stroke Foundation seal of approval.
Correct.
So it's certainly going to make a healthy additive.
Right, so we're just cooking these out. You can sort of hear it popping. Those are the mustard seeds popping, which are beautiful. And then you're going to add your other stuff. So you've got some fresh chili, as little or as much as you like. Depending on how hot you like it. I like it more flavorful, not too hot.
Not too hot, cool.
And then what we do is we turn the heat down a little bit before you add your ginger and the garlic, because we want the flavour to come through, but you don't want... Garlic burns really easily, so you add it more towards the end. Otherwise, you're going to get that sort of bitter flavour from the burnt garlic.
It's got a very high sugar content, I've been told by a chef, so that's why
Correct. And you can actually smell it now, but now we want to turn it down. As soon as you can smell it, you turn it down, and then you add your liquid ingredients. So we've got some tomatoes.
It's a good indicator. Once you can smell it, you know that
you've released the flavour. And then you add your tomato. You can see it bubbling up, and you can already smell it. That smells good, right? Some salt and pepper. And again, with the seasoning, layer it. Do it in stages. So a little bit now, and then you can check again a little later. Does it need some more? We've got some coconut milk. So this makes it vegan. This is a vegan dish as opposed to even a vegetarian. So we don't have any dairy or animal product.
And we are blessed now. If you want to go the vegan route, regardless of your lifestyle choice, you know, take the emotional element out of it. There are so many options for you to try now. The prices are coming down because there's a demand within the marketplace now. We have access to a much wider variety. So do it. Just
it's actually becoming exciting now to go and see what's out there in the shops and try new things. Right, and then you're going to add your veggies. So veggies are whatever you want. In this case, we've got some potatoes. We're going to add those. And again, I'm going to talk about the layering because you're going to add your potatoes first, get them cooking because they are going to take the longest to cook.
Okay.
So get them going. We aren't going to be able to do it right now because it's going to take a good couple of hours, I think. So you get your potatoes going. Once they're sort of half soft, you can then add the next stage of veggies, which would be your pumpkin or butternut. Because that's going to go a lot quicker. And once you're happy with that, and you can cook it as much as you want. I wouldn't go complete mush. I quite like to have a little bit of texture.
Sure,
you could even roast your butternut off first and then add it towards the end. So you've got a little bit of a roasty flavor going on. And then once it's completely cooked down, you can see here it's nice and saucy and the liquid sort of evaporated and thickened up. Then right at the end, you're going to add your chickpeas because they are tinned, so they're already cooked. So they're going right at the end.
Warm them through.
Right at the end. And the same with your peas. You can add, if you don't want the peas, don't add the peas.
I love this. You've got a lovely mixture of different textures in there as well. It pops with colour. It's aromatic. Yes. I'm getting wafts of these amazing flavours coming through. But what you've done there is you've taken some of the least expensive ingredients that you can buy to bulk this up as well.
Inexpensive, hearty, filling, and very nutritious as well. And then right at the end, once your curry's beautifully cooked and you're happy with the textures and the flavours, add some extra seasoning, and then you're going to add your...
with some coriander.
I love coriander. What is wrong with you, Graham? It's the best ever.
The debate. I've tried. Angie, that looks spectacular. It looks beautiful. I love the fact that it's a budget buster as well, and it's going to be filled to the brim with flavour, which is the most important thing from a curry, full of those aromatics. And you can find this at expressoshow.com if you want to cook along with us. Angie, so good to see you, man. So good.
Pleasure.
Be well. Love, food, life.